All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Can we have a moment of silence for the passing of Steve? Steve has given up on our show on a Wednesday, and we have replaced. This is new Steve. So everybody say hey to Kevin. This is new Steve.
I knew
What's going on,
Steve.
everybody?
So if you're not, right to start, if you're not following Kevin, Kevin's about like me. He doesn't make videos as frequently as he should. He finds cool stuff. Tennessee Picker is his channel on the tube.
Oh, now I know who he is.
I thought
And,
everybody knew Kevin.
So
I just
Steve
stopped by to tell everybody Happy Easter.
appreciate that, man. So Steve is
happy Easter.
Steve is you guys know Steve drives for Spark and a lot of things for Walmart. This is a huge day for them, and the opportunity to make money was I'm glad he chose to do that. That shows some ambition and drive in Steve that we didn't know it was there. So that's he is out. And it probably wasn't Steve. It was probably Marsha telling him to get his ass to work on one of the busier days of the year. So, hey, Trina, good morning from Birmingham. Hope you're in a good area of Birmingham. The good news is for Birmingham is they listed the cities, the top 10 cities of the last year for the murder cities, and Birmingham dropped off the top 10 murder list. What the heck? Birmingham and Atlanta both dropped off the murder list. So that's a good thing. Yeah. So if nobody else tells you Happy Easter, John has told you Happy Easter. So from the whole Reseller Report morning gang, Happy Easter today. Hey RG, are you in here this morning? I wore this sweatshirt just for you to remind you how bad you're gonna get your ass stomped down on Saturday. Just for those of you who didn't know, don't confuse this week with Hate Tennessee week. That week has already passed. It's now Hate Auburn week. And so, Auburn, let's think about this, Auburn fans. New Mexico State, y'all paid $1.8 million to come to your house to beat your ass. Yes. Are we hitting the eggnog early? No, I'm still working on my first cup of. Okay, so this is 2 cups and a shot of coffee. So Kent, I called the UPS guy, and so get this now. Of course, they don't have any idea what's going on. I explained to them exactly like what happened, and I even told them what Tommy had told me yesterday, and they acted like that this is the first time anybody told them this. And then my driver gets here, and I told him, I'm like, nobody showed up yesterday. And he said, oh, no, I came by here. You didn't have anything out. I'm like, what time did you come? He goes, it was like 3:08. He's like, about 15 minutes earlier than what I am now. I'm like, okay, first of all, if that driver never comes on Monday, he only comes Tuesday through Friday. What do you do when you know somebody is mistaken? Do you push them? I mean, I didn't because he's generally a nice guy. But, I had boxes out there at 2:30. I know you didn't come. You didn't come by this house. You might have imagined. You might have been thinking confusing Friday with Monday. I was running late, so I did not stop by the UPS center. Yeah. Craig, it's not clickbait. We're going to talk about where your store survived. Yeah, so Josh, that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. The big thing yesterday is the announcement from the IRS. Rockstar Flipper made an important emergency announcement to make sure everybody knew.
What would you do without him?
Same thing I've always done.
Yeah, scratch my butt and continue on with life, I guess. I don't know.
Watch more Kevin videos.
So the limit is not 600. They are going to they're going to kick 600 down the road for another year. So the new IRS reporting limit is 5,000 for this year. It dropped down from last year. They left it the same. So last year was 20,000 or 200 transactions. I didn't see the transaction part. Did they mention the transaction part with the $5,000, or is it just $5,000?
I didn't see the transaction.
I didn't either.
That's
What's
still going to
Kevin's
hit
channel?
some fairly low sellers. You know, the 5,000 is pretty easy to hit.
You're not going to hit the people that are just selling the stuff out of their house or just selling you know what I mean? Just trying to,
Right.
or more like having a yard sale, or just a lot of the new beginners are ones that are just starting out will be. Which I don't.
Maybe with the new IRS limit, lag will come back. I miss that guy or girl or whatever the hell it was. I think he identifies as a freaking cat.
Cat lives in a basement.
I miss him. I wish
So
he'd
there you
come
go.
back.
It's going to be real hard to find Kevin. I told you he's a Tennessee picker. He's YouTube at Tennessee picker. So there you go.
But if you listen, if this is a business, you run it like a business.
You're trying to steal my thunder. Everybody's trying to steal my thunder. Josh shows up and talks about the IRS in the chat right at the beginning, and now John talks about a business. All right, so next week I will just put the title up, and then I'm not even gonna show up for the show. Y'all just have the show without me.
Yeah, I got this Tennessee hat here.
Oh yeah, that's the only Tennessee hat I would wear.
Not quite the power tee.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh man, so
just the
one
world
thing
champions.
So I watched John flipping ain't easy, and he kind of made his statement that he thinks search is learning. It's not technically broke. Weird. Just need to adapt to it. John, I'm gonna call BS on that. And so here's what I can tell you. So I had 3 offers when I woke up this morning, and so I wanted to go to the tab for underneath your listings, hit research prices, because I really wanted to see, is this an offer I should take? Because it was on borderline about what I wanted for the item, and so I wanted to see what everybody else was getting for this item. So I hit the research price tab. It brought up 7 items that for the prices. Take a guess how many of the 7 items were the same as mine?
11.
That'd be 11 too many. Not one item so not one item does it bring up in its research prices search area is even the same as mine. So how am I supposed to trust the fact that when I put that item in search and 10,000 other items show up and it doesn't show up, it'll show up way down the list. But then you research prices. When you list an item, it's giving you a suggested price based on what it sees the market as. You think eBay could get in trouble somewhere as price fixing whenever they're just throwing out a random number that people are trusting as what the market is as according to their search engine, and they are telling you to list an item for whatever, and it's nowhere near the market because it is not the item. Do you think they bear any responsibility for that?
That's why you need to know your item. That's why you need to know. You need to know what you're selling. I mean, you can. I have never seen the recommended price or recommended listing anywhere close to what it's supposed to be, high or low.
But there are a lot of people, Kevin. Here's the problem: there are a lot of people that are under the impression that when you go above that recommended price, that is a negative in the ranking on your item in search. And so going above their recommended price puts you in a higher price category. And so it's going to push you down the search. Which if that's true, that's really screwed up but that
Sounds
also
like
goes
Amazon shit to me.
And it does, John. So I listed yesterday or last night. I was on the phone with Dave. He's probably asleep still, and I was testing. Blu-ray players. I tested All of them are Samsungs, but there was one, the Blu-ray. It's an F5700. So I searched to list that this morning. Add a product, F5700, Samsung BD F5700. That player was on the third page of search in order to find it on their listing page. There was the J5700 and all these other ones and remotes and everything else. There was a renewed one that showed up, but you can't sell renewed. The actual listing for the true item was on the third page of search.
Mm.
That's Amazon for you folks. Everybody goes, "Oh, Amazon's wonderful. You sell more things over there." If you don't understand Amazon and know that and be very persistent, it's hard to find an item over there. And that was I preached that for a long time. eBay is secret. The secret sauce to eBay. The one thing where they crushed Amazon is their search was so good. If you put the item in search, it would bring you back that damn item. And now all of a sudden they have gone, you know what? We want to be just like Amazon. The audacity, just think about this. The audacity of eBay to say, I don't give a damn what you put in search. We think you would like this better. That's what they're telling you, folks, is we don't care what you put in search. You know, we think because other dumbasses in the country have bought this, you would like this better. So here's this. Just think about, they think you're stupid. It's very frustrating. They went from, eBay makes every decision. You look at it and go, if I was a business owner, I would run away from this. You know, they see short-term financial gains through their stock price versus what is good for the platform overall. It is mind-blowingly. Tracy, you cannot be on the show this morning, T-Flips. If you can't come to Wing Night, you can't listen to the Wednesday show.
Would you like me to boot him out?
No, don't boot him out. Well, okay, this is your one. You've used up your forgiveness there, Tracy. Actually, we missed you last night, Tracy. I hope you're doing well today. I know you're out hunting Bambi, so good luck there.
The one good thing about eBay search, though, is there are people who have safe searches when it comes to collectibles and rare items. So, luckily, when I list a rare item or a something that hasn't been listed in a while, it sells pretty quickly because people have already got their safe search ready and waiting to pounce on it.
Right.
So that is one good thing about it. But I agree with everything else that you just said.
It's just frustrating. I mean, will I adapt? See, here's the problem. I come on here and I carry on and complain, but the problem is the question is I can tell you if you're eBay business to survive, complaining and understand. The only reason I can tell you these things is because I figured out that is your mindset of a business mindset? Have you said it? Not only do you need to figure out what's going wrong and what the current environment is, what are you going to do about it? That you got to get. Do you ever get to that point? If you never get to that point and just continue watching people who are mad and carrying on the internet and telling you it's broken and you want them to sing Kumbaya with you and tell you how bad it is and it's going to be all right and we're going to hold hands together and go skipping into the rainbow. If you're looking for that, this ain't it. Carry on. Thanks for stopping by. Carry on. You got to figure out what you're going to do about it. And I'm telling you right now, the answer to search is if you are not filling out every damn description you can think of and item specifics, the more information you can feed eBay, the better chances your items are going to show up. And not only show up on where you're at, but show up on other listings as well. And I think that's, everybody talks about close the circle. That thought should be in when you're doing item specifics and you're making a listing, you should be looking at that circle thinking, what other information, how can I get this information? There's plenty of AI out there that will tell you about model number or about item or whatever, a simple description. Because, okay, so with all that being said, customers, what do we do with these new? Are you mean and hateful to new people? So I got one yesterday, a new buyer sends me a message that says, does this camera work? I'm like, it clearly states in the listing it's for parts only. It says in the description, does not work for parts only. It's listed as for parts only, and it says no returns due to parts only. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. How can I get my money back? I'm like, I see that you're brand new to eBay. Welcome to eBay. I hope you enjoy your experience on eBay. You are very fortunate I have not shipped this because it is not returnable. I will give you a refund, but please, I explained to the guy, please, and he was really nice. I'm like, please read the descriptions and please read exactly what you're buying because eBay can be great, but you can also lose money by going too quick. And do we make sure that you educate people? I think it's part as a long time seller on eBay. I think it's part of my responsibility. If you've got a new person who's made a mistake, folks, there's a lot of people who watch this show and would tell me they bought it. It's no returns. Go ahead and ship it out to them. I'm not canceling. I'm not refunding. I'm going to ship it out to them. And then they can't send it back. I got my $30. Folks, if you treat people that way, I can promise you, you're going to be treated the same way. And, the one thing I know in my life is I need grace at some point because I will screw up. And so anytime you have the chance to help someone, extend grace, and it doesn't cost you anything other than, to click the button and it automatically relists the camera. So that was lag, just having fun. Damn it, lag. Quit messing with me. So Larry says adding or removing a single word can make a big difference. I'm telling you that adding, the one thing that I found that helps the search is we used to. So when Eric Weber was on, and several years back when it was Dusty, Eric, and Jason, them, the one thing he would tell you to take advantage of search is to go wider to find your item and then narrow down. I will tell you the way search is now, you have to do the opposite effect. You have to be very specific to find exactly what you're looking for. Because if you go with a wide, there's no telling what in the hell you're going to find. I mean, you're leaving to the chance. The more information, the more specific that you can be, for the better off you're going to be. Yeah, Trina, at the end of the day, there's enough hatefulness in this world, and there's enough meanness going around that anytime that you have a chance to break that cycle, I believe people are generally good people. Are there psychos and assholes out there? Absolutely. But I don't want to treat others that way so that I become a beacon so they show up at my store. I'd rather, because I will order something wrong or something will happen every now and then.
Yeah, I've got even people that ask for returns and stuff, or send me an email that says, hey, this isn't working, or this wasn't the right thing, or whatever. I have a pretty nice email that I type back, and it's like, sorry for the mistake. Please initiate a return. I'll refund you 100% once I receive the item back. And a lot of times they commend me for that, and it makes the transaction a little bit easier, and they end up purchasing, like I see them as a repeat buyer. So,
and so that's one thing people don't realize. I don't know that I don't get because I'm a kind of an opportunist. So maybe everything seller is the wrong term. Opportunist is more like it. I'm an opportunist seller. I will, if I come across it or figure it out, it's worth something, I'll sell it. Don't care what it is. And I do have categories that I like. You guys know I like selling electronics. Do the things that protect you. I have the markers that put the spy markers that I mark on every item. So I send them the same message. Somebody go, what about return? I'm like, I have free returns. You're more than welcome to return the item once I receive it and inspect it to ensure that it is the same item that I sent out and it's in the same condition. I'll process a refund. So I'm very upfront with them. I tell them exactly what it is. So if somebody's planning on switching something out, at least they've got some kind of notice that. So Beth is listening while she's driving to the vet. Larry, maybe Beth's dog or cat typed that for her. Y'all do realize you can speak into the phone and they'll type for you, right? You don't actually have to touch the buttons. You don't have to go. You just.
Yeah, but mine doesn't understand me.
Mine didn't understand me either. Mine thinks I'm speaking some foreign language. Yeah, but that's Brenda. How did you know it was warm? Were you there when they scooped it up off the field? Larry wants to know, Kevin, would you go full time again? What do you think?
I've been full time again since March.
What do you think he's doing now?
I just didn't put it on any of my videos. But yeah, so my career, what I was trained to do was architectural drafting. So last year I took a contract job for about 9 months, and that 9 months ended in March of this year. So I got back into it in March. It was doing pretty good, and then like I don't know if you've seen this, Scott, but like from year to year, my sales are down about 30% from last year. They are starting to ramp back up again, like here recently, but up until a couple weeks ago, I was still down 30% year to year. But I had an employee that was like my niece. I was paying my niece. She was working 20 hours a week and was really helping me out, taking photographs and doing some shipping and stuff. And she hasn't worked for me for about a month just because of, I mean, I just had to cut the overhead for a little bit. But the way things are going, hopefully she's going to come back and start helping me again next week.
So James says, "Do I have to admit I am old being up this early?" Yeah, because I fall asleep in a recliner at 6:30 after dinner. So do I have to admit that I'm old because I can't sit in a recliner without falling asleep? It's terrible. The one thing, the whole point of the show is I just want to really talk to you in order to make your business work and to understand it's about mind change. It's about figuring out there's a solution to your problem. And a lot of your job, I mean, I know everybody wants to think that sourcing is it. All I can do is find stuff and list it. But finding a solution to issues that show up is an extremely, and being able to look at things and analyze it. That's a analyze a listing, analyze your business situation. That is to be able to judge what's going on and make a good sound decision. So I was telling the guys beforehand, I tested those two last night as well. I might have bought those mini disc players in North Carolina. And for those of y'all keeping score, we moved here in the summer of 16. So I've had those at least since the summer of 16. And so that's pretty
some
good.
long tail inventory right there.
I don't know why they haven't sold. Nobody has showed up and knocked on the door and said, "Do you have a Sony mini disc player, sir?" I'm like, I happen to have two. And so I looked at one of them. It sells for $130 to $150 on eBay. And so this morning I'm like, generally I'll get about 25% more on Amazon. What's it worth on Amazon? Amazon has no sales rank. I'm like, well, that's weird. Why does it not have a sales rank? This is a popular machine. These mini disc players are only by Sony. They were only made in the mid 90s. Okay, not only Sony. Sony invented them, but I think JVC or somebody might have made a few of them. But the cheapest one on Amazon is $475.
How many of them did you have?
I have two. But so there's a reason why they haven't sold on Amazon is because they're not worth, you're triple to 4 times what the market is telling you on eBay they're worth. Even if you got 25%, you should have been in the 200 range, 2.25 max. So you're double what the max price you should have been minimum. And then these folks are wondering why that. No, there's just nobody out there. It's just dead. I can't believe we haven't sold them yet. Yeah, you're not going to sell them when they're that overpriced. How much of your sales problems are eBay search or your price is bad? Do you have the critical thinking that you can understand? Yes, eBay search is bad, but what is my pricing? Am I off in pricing? Am I contributing to my own problem? To take that step that you might be part of the problem is a huge part of will you still be around long term. Their
It's great
antics.
advice.
Donate stale inventory and take the deduction. Mind your business. How about I just list them and make the sale? Because they have a 500% sell-through rate. One of them didn't work. So one of them for parts is still worth $40 plus shipping for parts. So I'll get both those listed. And then one of them has the remote, one of them doesn't. The one that's broken, of course, is the one with the remote. The remote sells for $30. So those will all get listed today. Where did Uncle John go? He had a doctor's appointment he forgot about, and he is on his way. Now, I know this person who's about to show up was up early because she's like the rest of us folks up here.
Good morning.
Sue.
Hey, Sue.
I had to come on to say hi to Kevin.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So you're saying me and Todd are just chopped liver and you came just to see Kevin?
I thought I'd fill in for John.
Thanks, Sue.
Come back to Huntsville and want to eat German and think I'm going to go eat with you, and I'm going to. But
Hey, so I have such a pet peeve about people I see on Instagram or YouTube going, I got this person who wanted to cancel, and I haven't shipped yet, but I'm going to ship right now. I just, like you said, it's really worth the $30, and why piss off a customer?
But this person was their first purchase. They had no feedback, so my automatic feedback was their one. Folks, if you want to do this long term, you can't chase brand new people off the platform. Teach them the right way to do things. Be nice to them, so they can be encouraged. Because this person is still going to be looking for a camera. Where do you want them to look for it? Do you want it to? I don't care if they buy it from somebody else. I want them on eBay. At some point, the longevity of the platform. If we have to treat people that way, because it seems just because eBay treats us like hell doesn't mean that you don't do that. The customers are very important. We don't lose sight of the fact how important the customer is in this business.
Yeah, I mean, that's who we get paid from.
So Larry said you're a very nice upgrade from Grumpy. So there we go.
That's an understatement of the century right there.
Sorry, John.
And also, the other reason I wanted to come on was because I made that mention about my CAT scan or something the other day, and I appreciate all the prayers again. And I went to the doctor, and he said not to worry about it. So not to worry about it.
It's awesome.
Very, very good. Yeah, trying to figure out what we're doing tomorrow. I think I'll be sitting right here. I might go live tomorrow just because I have nothing else to do. Because we're supposed to go over to the other Marsha and Steve. What world do I live in that I know two Marsha and Steves? But they called last night to say, we have COVID.
Oh, no.
Getting feeling better. I won't be seeing you tomorrow. So Jeremy doing it wrong. Forcing a purchase is a surefire way to catch it. Folks, understand that if you've got no returns on an item, they can get around that and force it back. And so my problem is, not only are you making the person mad, but then you're going to lose financially in that situation because once they force it back, I have free returns. Why would I want to incur? So it's it if somebody has made something has changed, they don't need an item or whatever. I don't get the people that say, well, I'm not taking the cancel. I'm gonna ship it anyway. I don't get that.
I really don't either. And the lady that I was sort of talking about on Instagram, they ended up putting it back on their credit card. So she ended up getting the money from eBay. Like eBay went ahead but I still feel like it's bad karma. I do.
Yeah, so Timothy's right. You're gonna get a return as a defect. They track how many returns you've got. You're gonna take a chance on a negative feedback. You're gonna take a chance on a chargebacks and everything.
Mhm.
Only bad things can happen, folks.
Right, and you're waiting 3 days to get it back, to list it again.
Absolutely. When I just hit the button and it gave the person their money back and it listed all at the same time, and I
Right.
just moved on. Yeah, it's
Now I have had 4 the chargebacks. The item's been delivered. I have 3 or 4 pending right now.
Wow.
That they got the item, said it wasn't delivered, and then went back to their credit card and filed a claim. But luckily, Seller Protection has protected me on all 3 of the 4 so far, and I'm pretty sure they're going to protect me on the 4th one as well.
so Hustle and Grow said it, and I put it all in a way you can read it, but not my rambling. 100% agree with that. And I talk a lot about being positive and protecting that part of you that I'm telling you right now, if you let that get angry and you're so mad that you do people, and that's what your whole focus is, instead of it's a complete opposite way to look at it. What kind of frame of mind do you need to be in to go, man, this is a new person that made a mistake, and then move on versus how angry you're going to be and let this carry on for weeks to really affect how you treat folks. It's not just about business. If you were treating a complete stranger that way, how are you treating the people in your life who have to put up with you all the time? I'm telling you right now, do things that improve your outlook and do things that are positive. That I'm telling you, the more that you are that I 100% believe the more that you are positive and the more things that the better you treat people all around, the better off. I'm telling you, I'm old, not Todd old, but old, and it's worked for me this long in my life. And I'm not willing to change it.
Well,
do things.
I do remember getting upset one time because I sold these huge Christmas tree stands I had gotten at a wholesale club, and they were all gone. And literally the end of February, somebody returned 2 of them to Amazon and said it didn't fit with their system. That's the, like the dot
Right.
they filled in or whatever. And I'm like, I know that they give extended return after Christmas till January 31st, but they're returning 2 Christmas tree stands at the end of February. And it really ticked me off. And I called Amazon and they were like, said something like, the customer's always right, basically. And I was mad, but probably for 30 minutes, and then I just got over it, and then I had to store 2 huge Christmas tree stands for a whole year.
So good morning, Josh. You get that one? I'm gonna watch. I need to watch. Was it Strange Brew? Just so I can talk Canadian to you, Josh. Just light up the thumbs up button. Yeah, I forget to tell people that. So thanks a lot. So Josh, I left you. You didn't get to it, but somewhere you said you were going to read all the chat. There was something that you were something about Amazon. Something you stated about Amazon that you were wrong about. Did you get that message? There was something. I forget what you were talking about, but you assumed that Amazon was different, but it's not. If you can remember what it is, type in the chat. Larry says he's a day older than dirt. Yeah.
He also said he was going live at 6:30 in the morning tomorrow. Are you going to be showing you putting your turkey in the oven at 6:30?
Yeah. So that's it. So Josh said that he didn't think you could go to Amazon and sell and go from 0 to 300,000, and Amazon didn't do any investigation. They do throttling. They investigate, especially newer accounts. If your sales go up or whatever, they do put the brakes on that. I've seen people for years complain about that. They want because they've gotten hit so hard with Chinese sellers is selling so much stuff at a low price and not being shipped out. So I don't necessarily. Sometimes they do ask you to approve your inventory, but a lot of it is they slow you down to make sure that you're going to ship the stuff out. Especially, if it goes FBA, you're a lot better off. You can sell a lot more faster. They don't look as much because they've got control of the inventory, but they've been burned so many times by these accounts that come up brand new, sell a bunch of stuff, and then the accounts just disappear. They take the money and
Or
disappear.
also it's counterfeit, because I had somebody jump on one of my listings some years back, and so it was LOLs that we were selling like 2 for $35, and this Chinese company came on and they were selling them 2 for $9.95, something like that. They were shipping, but it was all counterfeit. So then all the reviews were terrible. I had to pull all mine back because, and at that time, I thought they weren't catching them as quickly. And I'm thinking, if we can all see it, how come Amazon can't see it? But I think you're referring to somebody who jumps up and sells quickly, not somebody
Right.
who's, like
But if
over 2 years is going up to 300,000.
But even if you're building a brand too, Josh, they want to make sure that you're going to send out the items. And it could be a shorter time, but once you've proved that you will fulfill your items and have that ability, they let you go. But they've also, people talk about the reserve and why is there a reserve on my account and all these things. The reason Amazon does that is because all these bad actors have come in and they're trying to protect themselves. It's that. We like to say Amazon, they're a big evil company. They're keeping our money to whatever. They've been burned so many times. They're that was the answer to how do you protect. Unfortunately, these large companies sometimes are given no choice. When you've got enough of things bad happening, you put a rule that affects everybody versus individually, because it gets too hard to single them out individually. But yeah, Josh, if I was going to build a brand, it's easier on Amazon because just look at John. John just left here. John, over a few years, has built up a tremendous. Because of the way that pay-per-click works over there and the targeting you can do. eBay is just now getting into that stuff where all those systems are proven on Amazon, so you can definitely sell a lot more because you got way more customers, and you can, through their advertising and using their systems, and you can sell a ton of stuff faster out there for sure. If you're going to build a brand and if you got a well-known brand or something, Amazon is. Although it's got just as many negatives. They're at some point you get very successful. Amazon will approach you for wanting a piece of it and all that craziness that they do with forcing prices. And you hear a lot of people swear they'll never sell on Amazon because of the tactics they use.
I will say eBay will throttle you as well. A couple years ago, I found some sealed N64 games, and I put them all on at the same time, and I was doing about $5,000 a week and did about $15,000 in a week, and they put the halt on my payout for about 6 days to confirm that everything was legit. So they will, they are keeping an eye out just to make sure. But you can get away with a lot more on eBay for sure.
Now, where did you get those, and are there more available?
I stumbled upon them.
Nice.
It was a garage sale, or well, it was a
Wow.
it was our local fairgrounds has an annual sale, and there's just a guy there with a bunch of them. So
Wow.
So what have I got?
Did you pay up or did you rip the person off?
I paid what he's asking.
There's a misnomer, and that's a good point, Todd. A lot of people think just because we know the value of an item and we're going to sell it somewhere else, for the market at that fairground, that you paired the price, that person decided it was a fair price. It's you're not just because you're going to sell it somewhere else. You can't. That other person. How many people? We've all met them. They sell at flea markets and stuff, and you say, "Well, why don't you put it on eBay?" Oh, I don't do eBay. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be happy. And then and then people would go, "Oh my God, you ripped them off. Look what you got for it on eBay." No, that person, you weren't there. How many times we've all run into this? They don't want to sell online. So here's a good example. About 6 weeks ago, I was at a yard sale, and they had a Yeti cooler on the driveway, and they wanted $30 for it. And I asked them, would you take 20? They said, sure, we'll take 20. I'm like, why are you selling it? These things I actually told them they've got lifetime warranties. You can send them back and they'll replace it. It had a bad zipper on it. Mm-hmm. And they said, no, we didn't care for that one as much. We've got the hard side cooler. We just want it gone. And I'm like, okay, you just want it gone. Here's your $20. Joni gets on the phone with Yeti and tells them the bad zipper, and you don't have to turn on receipts or nothing. These things got huge warranties on them. They emailed me a return label. We sent the cooler back. Within 3 weeks, we had a brand new Yeti cooler. So how do you get a $350 Yeti cooler at a yard sale? Buy the $20 broken one. It's the same thing. JanSport's got huge. There's lots of companies that got tremendous returns, and they honor no questions asked. But I straight up told that person. But there's just so many people out there that just either want to be done with a product or don't want to sell online or don't want to go through the hassle, and are happy with what
Yeah, but then there's some that put up the little sign showing how much it sold for on eBay, so they want way too much money at the garage sale. Oh no, it's not usually a sold though. It's usually a.
Yeah, it's a listing. It's not a sold.
Did I sell it? No. That has been claimed, by the way.
but there are some things that are like when I see them and they're cheap enough, I'm going to buy them, not knowing what the total value is going to be. I mean, the guy had these N64 games. I saw 2 sealed. I didn't even look at the rest of the box. I just paid his asking price. And then when I got home, there were 3 more sealed in the bottom of it. So, and I didn't even, and they were the most valuable ones. So, this year I found a forensic, some sort of forensic kit that you can pull information off cell phones. It was a police officer's yard sale, and he just had it in a case. He said, that's out of date. You can have it for $35, and I sold it for $800 on eBay. I had no idea. I just knew there was some value there, and I just paid his asking price. I didn't know it was going to sell for that much.
I think Clag bought it. That's how he knows so much about me.
See, folks, I think give yourself. Most of us need to understand that, but give yourself paying someone's asking price is not ripping them off. If that's the one thing that I do, if there's an item that's really nice and I pay their asking price, I generally don't try to cut them to their knees. If it's a $20 item that I know I'm gonna get $100, $200 for, I'll give them the $20. I don't need to get it for 15. I don't need to get it for 10. And
you're just a good old asshole, Scott. Don't matter what people say about you.
Well, I just wanted to say, welcome, Tom. It's nice that we have some ladies on the chat this morning.
See, I'd go whoop his ass if I was you.
Well, you're the angry grandma.
I'm not this.
Well, I was gonna put curlers in my hair and wear the kerchief, but I don't have any curlers.
I don't know that you can do an Australian accent though.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, as people age, do you think yard sales? I don't think yard sales are going anywhere at all because, the these younger generations are still having yard sales. You know, this is not yard sales are not older people. It is a way they can get rid of stuff and make a little money. Is what they're most people see it as. Now, you go to how many yard sales you go to, and it's just full of kid stuff. These people are much younger than
Yeah,
me.
that's
I don't
true.
have any kid stuff in the house. You know, so there's a lot of people. I see all ages having yard sales. It's not an age thing with yard sales. It's
But I will have to say, my son buys well, not a lot, but items off of Facebook Marketplace and even Craigslist. He got a West Elm couch, like a $2,500 couch for $300, and that he kept. But he often buys exercise equipment or music equipment that he resells on eBay, or there's Reverb. I can't remember there's a platform that's only music for music stuff, and he usually does pretty well on there. So it doesn't have to be garage. I mean, he doesn't go to garage sales, but he'll scout, Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace.
yeah. I picked up an ab roller a few weeks ago, and I actually shipped it yesterday.
Yeah, used it.
I didn't use it. I don't need any abs. What the hell? And so it went out yesterday. You know, people that won't do a little bit of bigger items, those two BMW side things, I sold both of them. We just happened to have a huge Amazon box in there because she ordered paper towels and toilet paper from Amazon. So that big old box held both side bags in it. So under bigger items, y'all keep everybody in Huntsville keep leaving me the bigger items. I appreciate that. No, Jeremy, not Discogs. That's only music. There's a site that you can sell musical instruments. Reverb. It is like Reverb or something like that.
That's right.
I've heard of it. I've just never used it because my musical ability is to play Apple Music and turn it up real loud so I can't hear myself screeching like a cat. Brian, I found the same thing. Brian says Facebook Marketplace has gotten tougher for finding deals. I found that as well.
Oh, I sent my son a text. It is Reverb.
Lag said 300 episodes in, and Tom finally made a joke. It wasn't a fun one, though, so there you go.
Did you go out for breakfast, Tom?
No, I've been out running errands. Thank you very much for asking, Steve. I've been to Honey Baked Ham, picked up a ham for tomorrow. I've been to Sam's and picked up an order there. Ran out and picked up some prescriptions.
I just saw your big gulp there.
Yeah.
Who knew those bags was else? That's why I went and got you, Harlan, and showed them to you. I'm like, what do you think? You think I should pick these up? These would be great. I knew as soon as I saw them, but thanks, man. So you should have friends like Harlan. He didn't want to deal with them, but he actually saw them at the church sale where you're at, and he's like, "Hey, you need to look at these. I think they think it's do good for you." And so he actually pointed them out because they were in another room. They didn't take very long. It was
I just ran into a guy that I used to have a connection with, and because when I worked at Staples, he came in there all the time buying stuff. But we were talking, and he has a business that resells people's sporting goods stuff. And I said, "Do you need some hand weights?" He says, "Bring them. This is the time to sell them if you're going to sell them." So I got a bunch of crap I need to take out there to him. But anyway, he was talking about there's a guy that lives in our neighborhood because Mark lives on the other side of Carmel Road from me. But anyway, he said this guy he got laid off from his job, and he has been making some pretty good coin off of Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace because people have treadmills that they spent $500 for, they use for 6 weeks, and then they quit. So it's become a clothes hanger. So they're giving it away. Get it out of my house, you can have it. So that's all he does. He goes around, picks up treadmills and exercise bicycles, weight benches with weights, brings them out to a store, and because it's a consignment store, and the guy sells them. He says, we want to make some money off of it. I don't care if I get rich off of it. So they're usually kind of priced kind of on the lower side because he's not interested in making full buck off of it. But he said the guy, he says he knows he writes him a check each month for at least $2,000 off of free stuff.
I did not realize Harlan had a fiance.
Well, I was just going to say, did I miss something?
Yeah.
No, you didn't miss that.
Is Harley getting married in white again? Harlan, if you get married, son, and have a wedding, I promise you, if you send me an invitation, I will drive to Huntsville, Alabama for the wedding and bring you a wedding present.
So, I was about to get on you, Tom, because when you said you had been running, I'm like, oh my God, Tom ain't never run in his life.
Something better not happen to me because you people will not have anybody to diss on.
And so the one thing I'll tell you, Jabez said he says the same thing. He sees people picking up bikes. There's a guy that Harlan and I see all the time, and used to sell a lot of stuff. Dusty used to buy a lot of stuff from him. He likes dealing with the big stuff. He likes dealing with the refrigerators. And when I saw him Saturday, he was carrying a refrigerator out of an estate sale. Do things other people won't do. It's amazing how much money is out there, and it's available because other people just either don't see the value in it, or don't want to take the time to do it, or haven't figured out a way to get rid of it, or like me, who don't like people, so don't want to sell in person.
I used to love to sell oversized items on Amazon because you had much less competition.
Yeah, we know you don't. We know you don't want to deal with people face to face, Scott, or you would have already loaded up all those 3X granny panties and taken them down to the flea market and sold those in one damn day. You'd sell out in one day. You wouldn't have to worry about returns because after that day you would never be there again.
There aren't that many big girls. Shout out to the big girls. So Harlan said he's such a virgin, so you might get away because last night his son had wing night with us. You might get away with being able to deny him because he looks so much like his mama. But your daughter looks exactly like you, and there ain't no way that she came from anybody else. She acts like you, and she looks just like you. Bless her heart. Because she posted a picture somewhere a few weeks ago. And Johnny's like, look at this. If Harlan was a lady, this is what she looked like. Marissa looks so much like Harlan. He said he hit twice. You got 2 kids.
But back to reselling.
It's a holiday. We can do whatever we want to do.
I have an acquaintance. He was a Cub Scout dad. Anyway, his youngest child is like 16 now. And I've mentioned him either on this show or my show or Todd's show, one of them before. They said, you better not go riding with this boy when you're going through a subdivision the day before garbage pickup, trash pickup. Because if he sees a dadgum washing machine or dryer with buttons that'll come off the front of them, he gets out and he pops the buttons off of them. And before that night's over, he's got them listed on eBay.
What a great idea. I never thought of that.
Yeah, so I did a short, Tom. You probably didn't see it because you don't watch my short.
I do watch your shorts. I listen to it.
So Joni had me. Joni volunteered. There's a young lady at the cancer center who has surgery, one of the employees. And she had asked some people, it was a little, she was going to be out for, I think, 2 months. So they were taking for the first couple of weeks, to cook dinner. And so Joni put her name on the list because she likes this young lady. And Joni's like, are you going to drive me over there? Because it's all the way across town. It's like 27 minutes from here. I'm like, sure, I'll take you over there. So we get over there, and it's in a little cul-de-sac that's like 8 houses. I pull into the cul-de-sac, and I'm like, which house is it? And she's looking at her phone, and she's like, 101, the one right behind us. There's a trash pile right in front of me. I pull the car right. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, those are TV trays. They sell for $25, $30 at the auction. I'm throwing them in the trunk. And And she's just carried on laughing and making jokes. And I'm like, you don't understand. I get back to her, you don't understand. If Carla's sitting here instead of you, we're still outside going through all them damn boxes to figure out everything else in the trash pile. You're just fortunate we're in this little bitty car, and I filled your trunk up with these TV trays. Yeah, so I'm gonna start doing that like on Sundays because that's the big trash day for the more wealthy area on the mountain, and see folks, and that just reminds me of the mountain. Never know. Johnny calls me and says, "Did you see the news about the wreck?" I'm like, "What wreck?" Huntsville is split on the one side. There's the end of the Appalachian Mountains. There's a mountain that when you come into town, you got to go up and over it. In the rain for the first time, real rain in 6-7 weeks, 6-car pileup, 2 dead, 1 fighting for their life, 5 in the hospital total, 7 injured in this wreck. You never know. One mistake by somebody else, and it could be your last one. So it's the holidays. A lot of people struggling the holidays. So reach out to your friends and family.
Be careful.
There are a lot of people that need a positive word this time of year. You never know.
We were up at my in-laws' house this past weekend, and on the way back on Sunday. So you used to come to Charlotte a lot, didn't you? Where 85 and 485 intersects on the Atlanta side is a cluster mess anyway. Anyway, we're coming home, and we just get into Gastonia, and traffic is backed up. So because I'm from that area, I started taking back roads, and we got to where we're going to get on 485. We just thought it was 85, which is always a mess. There was an accident on 485, probably on the other side of the Charlotte airport, and it was backed up 4 lanes wide, which I know that's nothing for Atlanta or Huntsville at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But on the opposite side of the median was a 6-car pileup. There was nothing on our side of the 485, and I'm wondering, we thought, well, maybe something jumped the median or something. Nothing. These damn people were just rubbernecking. We went from 2 miles an hour to 70 miles an hour in about 20 feet just because we got past that accident. And I'm surprised that there wasn't more accidents caused by people just stopping to gawk. Do you have it? No, you guys, I'm gonna just quit coming on these shows. The abuse is getting to be too much. It don't matter whether it's my own show or Todd's or Scott's or anybody's. Somebody's on my ass all the time.
Sorry, Tom, but it is funny.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, I don't know if you caught it, but somebody said that you thought that it was a real river behind me.
Oh yeah, I saw that. They're smart. That was probably Mr. Sadie. Such an ass.
Or surprised they say, "Sue, are you at the beach today?"
Tom,
I'm serious.
Think outside the box. Think outside the box.
Y'all harsh. But that's okay.
I'm sorry. The piano thing was funny. It really.
It was. I would, and if I wasn't so serious about it, it would really be it would be sad. But I was like, "Do y'all play the piano?" You start, Todd. You start. Because I like Todd, who looks like the Thing from Addams Family. John was just sitting there talking, and there was this this living room behind him. I swear. And I was serious when I said, "John, do you or your wife?" That's a nice piano. Do you or your wife play? And he's like, "What?" And then he turns it off, and it was like the camper or something like that.
I think it was in a hotel room.
I guess when y'all all come to Charlotte to bury me, y'all will stand around laughing and saying, "He didn't pack his piano with him."
We're gonna say he entertained us. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Better. Remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's my show, except for tomorrow. Y'all can come over there and make fun of me all you want to, as long as you give me a thumbs up and you
there you go.
entirety of the show.
But Anissa, I think we all put our piano backgrounds on after that.
They did.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome. What are you talking about? That was awesome.
And see, I think so highly of Sue. I think so highly of Sue, and then she lowers herself down to these people. She's still out there beating the bushes, making a living. She's been through the health issues she's had, and then she lowers herself to Todd and Scott and John and Kent and Lags and Mr. Sadie's level. That's sad. I'm gonna have to talk to your.
Hey, so you remember that guy? I found him
Oh
in
my
the store.
gosh, yes.
I found that in my storage building. It's a little faded, but I listed him as like new, good faded box. He's still $50-something.
Oh,
Man,
wow.
man.
Yeah, you need to go digging through those. Did you ever sell that easy bake oven?
Yeah, I sold it.
I kept telling you to list it for like 2 years. Every time I'd see it in the background.
Yes, I think that new was 56. I think I listed this for like 45. Man bat.
Yeah, there was a couple of those Imaginex that were really.
Yeah, the other one. What's the guy with the rock guy with the big hand? He was
Yeah.
worth like,
Clayface.
70 or 80. Clayface, that's him. Got a lot. He's still good, even if you find him out of the box. Clayface is still. Let's look him up real quick. Imaginex Clayface. Let's see how eBay search does. Imaginex Clayface.
A lot of new toys will gain equity even if you don't list them for a while. I've got toys that I keep finding that I'm glad I didn't list them when I did, because they're more valuable now than they were when I first bought them.
Oh man, I see a few recently. I can't even think of what they are. That I thought I sold 1 million of those on Amazon. I wish I had kept a couple.
Yes,
but then there's also
he's still $20 used. He's the one with the hand. You've got to get the one. There's a couple of them. It's the one with his hand is the hammer.
But it can go the other way on toys too, that they go down to nothing. Because was it Love-A-Bell? What was those dolls? I want to say Love something, but anyway, I found one in my basement like a couple years later, and I put it on because they had gone down to nothing. And the Christmas before, I had tried to put on Facebook Marketplace. I couldn't even sell it for $20, $10. And then the next year, I put it on Facebook Marketplace for like $20. I barely pressed, to publish it, and somebody bought it. And I was like, oh, maybe I should have looked that up on eBay first, and it had gone up to like $200.
Oh my God!
She was already on her way. She's like, I'll be there in 15 minutes.
Can you find a new seller with 2 feedback?
$6?
$5 plus $5 shipping is what they asked for it.
Hold on, I'm buying that right now.
Holy cow! They've got 2 feet. I looked up like, what? They've got 2 feedback. Holy cow! That's a $70 figure. They sold it for $5.
Scott, I thought about you while I was in Sam's. There was a young couple, I guess they were in their 40s, looking at some Ninja blenders, and they had their phone out, and the lady was saying, we ought to get one of those. We could sell that thing and make like $25. And I'm thinking,
just a blender cup is worth $40.
You got to figure out, you got to pay some fees in there too, lady. You're gonna pay if you sell it for $100, you're gonna pay $20 in fees.
The first question you got to ask them is look at them and go, how are you going to ship that? And they'll change their minds pretty quick.
But the other thing too is, I'm not gonna spend $150 to make $25.
Yeah.
Were they talking about selling their old one though, right?
No, they were talking about the one that they were looking at. They're like, that's a good price. We ought to get one and sell it on Craigslist. I mean, on Amazon. It's cheaper. We can make $20, $25 off of it. And that's when I thought, Scott popped into my head. It was like, okay, miss.
In a box.
You should have told him to watch the show.
You got to figure out your cost of goods in that. and you got to figure out the fees that you're going to pay Amazon, and you got to pay your shipping. Lag, shut up. Don't you have something to do? His mom really has got to find him something to do.
Hey, Kevin, have you followed all these Kill Tom jokes?
No.
Because
Okay.
I don't know how many times Tom has asked. I'd say something, and Tom's go, "How are you going to ship it?" I'm like, "In a box." So that's big. That's become the standard answer for everything. It's in a box.
Gotcha.
Well, usually it's because it's a weird shaped item, or it's, Scott, he's got to be an asshole. Pardon my language, Sue.
Yeah, I know. You've said that already like 5 times this morning, Tom. I think I need to get off the show. My poor ears.
You ought to be over on Scott Todd's show. Damn.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I didn't? This is what happens when you have a show near a holiday, and you don't really have a ton of. But the one thing, the next 3 weeks, folks, are critical. If you're close out the year strong, I'm telling you, sales are pretty solid right now.
Mine are just so up and down. Like, I sold like 10 things on Sunday and 1 thing on Monday.
Did we talk about the IRS change? Yeah, yes. For those of you, the reporting threshold is $5,000 this year.
The what?
The IRS reporting threshold, it was set to
For
be
1099.
600 for a 1099 was supposed to go into effect this year, but they kicked it the next year and said 5,000 again. At some point, they just, it's not important to them, and so until they actually address it, I think the Congress needs to really change it, and the IRS is just delaying it.
I will say this. Earlier, I mentioned that my sales have been down 30% or whatever, but I've been proactive the past 3 weeks and really just doing everything that I need to do, listing, sending out offers, just taking down some old listings and relisting them with better titles. Anything you can think, running sales, like I run 3 different sales a week. That way they all end after 2 or 3 days. And it's made a big difference. Like the past 10 days have been awesome. So, you just have to be proactive in your reselling. You have to, if it's not working, find something that is, because if you've got good stuff, it'll sell. Right now is the time to sell it.
Yeah.
So.
And I literally have 65 things in my store. So it's not like, but I have been trying to list every single day. And I even stayed up really late last night to get my listings in.
The big thing is expand your knowledge base, because so I watch Commonwealth. He's one of the few resellers I actually watch their videos, because he'll find the weirdest stuff. And so I knew about these items, and I just never ever pay attention to them. This is
I've got like 6 of those I need to clean up and get listed. That's what I was going to be doing this morning.
Rearware. This is the big 12-inch with the lid. I gave $10 for it. I think it's worth like $44 plus shipping.
Yeah, I paid $4. Mine was $4, and then it was 25% off day. Nobody had bought them. But I also have the really, really big soup pot. The bigger ones do better.
And then they had this one too. You can see that one sitting there. There's a double boiler right there. The 2-quart double boiler. I gave 10 for it too. They wanted 12 a piece. I got them for 10 a piece. And how do you clean the bottom? To clean the bottom is so easy. It's salt and vinegar. Takes off any stains. It's easy.
You can use Keeper's Friends too.
And I use kosher salt, and then I cut a lemon in half, and I use the lemon to scrub it, and it really cleans it up nice.
That's the one key. If your sales are down, I'm telling you, if you go wider and expand your knowledge about what you list, it'd be amazing how much stuff you'll sell. The more, if building a niche is really, really difficult, and to put all your eggs in that one basket, if distilled white vinegar, just like that. The only as a reseller, you should have that around. And the other thing that is good for is how many times you open up and the batteries are corroded, and you knock the batteries out, and it's got the prongs that got the green stuff. White vinegar eats that corrosion off pretty quick, and it's probably 75% of the time, as long as it hasn't so bad that it's got into the board. That does a very good job of.
I just
I would
Hey,
have told you
congratulations,
congratulations.
Ronan.
I
Yeah, I
just
would
give
have told you congratulations last night if I knew you had a fiance.
Me too. I would have gave myself thanks.
Dylan didn't spill the beans or nothing last night. What the hell?
I know. Can you believe that? That's hard to keep out of the news, isn't it?
Harlan got engaged.
So, Fart Sack Jack, he's 100% correct.
No.
When I was doing that, somebody else said that they would put ketchup on it, and then put like a wet paper towel or something on it, and it eats it up very quickly. But what is ketchup's got a lot of vinegar and salt in it, so it's nobody. I mean, this yard sale, I showed up on a Friday. It was a sign, and all that. They had a little overpriced on that stuff, but I picked out the two best ones: the double boiler and the big 12-inch. Because I'm telling you, I've never sold Revereware before, but they're both over there to be listed today. So I'll let you know how long it takes to sell them, but it shouldn't take.
Scott, you've never sold Revereware.
Never sold Revereware.
Dude, that's one of the first things that I learned. I sold all of my mother's that was in a cardboard box up in the closet 20 years ago, because that's people were saying, sell those. They sell good, and they did sell good. I am surprised, son, that you haven't been selling that. You've probably walked past 100 pieces of that stuff. As much.
I'm sorry to have disappointed you, Father.
There's a couple other brands to look out for too: Towncraft and Lifetime. Those two are some pretty good sellers, and you can usually find them pretty cheap too.
Lifetime,
they're even more expensive with the lids.
Did you say Lifetime? I never heard of that one.
Yeah, it looks exactly like Towncraft, except it says Lifetime.
It's also a cheap inventory when he went to his mom's pantry and sold her stuff. Is that what he said?
Yeah. She was moving.
She's like, where's all my stuff at?
I have Revereware that I've had since I've been married. That's 38 years old. That stuff lasts.
Yeah.
Hey, so Tom, Larry's got an important point here. We're talking about pots. We're not talking about Paul Revere.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up. It's.
I thought Revereware, they don't make it anymore. Fart Sack Jack.
I don't worry about cleaning it though. I just give it to one of the footmen and say, "Hey, this needs to be cleaned."
Yeah, so I got my first Vero in 19 years on eBay. So I also got it pulled from Facebook Marketplace. I had two brand new with tags, a Tommy Hilfiger, and I put it on Facebook first, and I sold one right away, but the other two got pulled on Facebook saying I was selling malicious counterfeits or something like that. And then I got the Vero on eBay as well. So of course, there's a million other ones listed. What?
Why do they think they were counterfeit?
I don't think that Facebook thought they were. I think Tommy Hilfiger must have bots that goes out and catches people. And that's the only thing they could say, because on Facebook there isn't really a Vero list,
So somebody was saying something about Facebook a minute ago. She was saying that she's not being seen as much. That they're forcing pay to play. Rennie was.
Yeah.
I don't sell.
They really
Facebook.
do push the. Do you want to promote this?
So the one thing I would tell you, Rennie, is they are seeing they are following eBay's lead. They're seeing the mass amounts of money eBay has made and the mass amounts of money Amazon makes with Amazon with advertising, and it's a.
I didn't see
I
any.
wouldn't-
I didn't see any revereware available for sale on Amazon. They have listings up, but when you click on it, there's no offers available, and it sends you to like just regular stainless steel, waterless cookware type stuff. No, I was just doing a quick look.
yeah, the one thing, if your sales are hurting, expand what you told you that this clock. It was
Oh
there
yeah.
the first day of estate sale. It was there the second day of the estate sale. Didn't have a price on it, and I finally looked it up on Google because I couldn't find it anywhere else. The stupid thing's worth $200. I didn't know. Nobody else knew, and the estate sale company didn't bother to look it up. They didn't know. You know, things are laying out. You can go to these sales first day, last day. It doesn't matter. There's money to be made. I bought this one was a 2-day sale, one regular price and a half price. Uh, they had 3 Blu-ray players. I bought and a VCR. I bought them. I'm like, nobody's gonna buy these. I'll buy these second day. And I bought a bunch of the media. They don't discount, so I bought a bunch of media and several other things first day. And oh, that's the one. That's the coolest estate sale. The first day they sold for $20. I need to test it this weekend. A Macintosh SE in its carrying case with the keyboard, the mouse, and the everything, $20. I'd never even seen the carrying case. And if it works, that computer's worth $250. I think for parts I can probably get around $100, but it's so I had to call Steve and tell him that I got an Apple product he didn't have for $20. So that one I didn't take a chance on that being around the second day because for $20 somebody would have bought that. But it was just sitting in the garage on the floor. The case was closed. You didn't know what it was. It was a $20 tag on. I'm like, why is this bag $20? And I open it up and like, wait a minute, that's a freaking Macintosh SE.
Hold my beer.
Yeah. Check old typewriters too. I sold a Everest typewriter I bought it for $10 and sold it for $350. So you just never know.
Yeah, and another way you can tell if your business will survive is how curious are you? How many times do you look at something and think whether you like it or not? And that's the hardest thing to get out of your head is what's it worth to you? Whether you like something or not, it's can the prevailing thought be when you're looking around is what is this worth to somebody else? I wonder what this is worth because somebody else needs it. We get so determined, and it's just natural. You look at something and go, "Oh, man, nobody wants that," and we walk away from big stuff, big dollar. If I'd have known the clock was that expensive, I'd have paid the full $20.
I've been around. I've been around quite a bit. I've been through a few circles of the sun. I've been around. If I see something and I go, "What the hell is that?" I scan it, even if I'm not in reselling sourcing mode. If I just see something like "What the hell is that?" I'm trying to find out what it is because there's some crazy stuff out there that's worth some money.
Yeah.
So, when they were building the pyramids, Tom, how did they work when they didn't have street lights?
Well, it's like this. The captain up on the bridge of that starship was setting those stones with tractor beams, so there wasn't a lot of labor in that.
All right, so Kevin had something important to tell us. What were you going to tell us?
Oh, no, it wasn't important. I was just going to expound on what Tom was saying. A few years ago, I was on the 127 sale, and I was with a lot of resellers. We were all going to yard sales all at the same time. There's probably 6 or 7 of us. and we came upon this yard sale, and there was. So when I see quality, most of the time I'm intrigued. I saw this item that was made by Olympia, and it was steel. I didn't know what it was, and I asked the lady. I said, "Can you tell me what this is?" And she's like, "Yeah, that is a rope counter for a horse farm. You'd run rope through it, and it would count the length of rope that you were purchasing." And so I just happened to do a brief check on my phone, and there was one around $100. She had two of them. She sold them both to me for $35. I ended up selling for $175 a piece. I had never seen one in my life. I just know that it was different, and I knew that I was definitely going to pay what she was asking for them. So I didn't know I would sell them for that much, but
I think that's an important point that, especially in this day and time, it seems to be easier. Is when you pick up something, you can tell quality just by the way something's made. With so much cheap stuff and Dollar Tree stuff and all that Temu and all this stuff that's so rampant today. Wandering through flea markets and yard sales and stuff, it's stuff that's made very well and older or of quality. Once you start looking for it, it stands out. Marjorie, female catheter system. Did you try it out before you sold it? $1,000 profit. It's most people, but a lot of people would look at it and go, "Oh, I can't sell that. That's whatever."
Hey, I've sold a prosthetic leg before, so I'll sell anything.
Dusty sold one too, didn't he?
Were they
sleeping or something? What happened?
Were they asleep and you stole it?
Yeah, they were asleep at the yard sale.
And so they went from after you left, they called him hot for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he just walked in circles.
But yeah, that's the how do you limit yourself? That's another great question. What limits do you place on what you'll sell? Vero list and recalls and illegal about and not allowed because of like prescription. Those are the only limits I put on what I'll. I don't necessarily like selling stuff that's of a pornographic nature, but if there's a ton of money in it, there's a way to get rid of stuff. Bad joke that he walked around in circles. So my dad said he sold 2 prosthetic legs too. Good money.
That person ain't getting around at all.
Put up Mr. Sadie's comment.
It reminds me of the old joke. What do you call a dog with no legs? It don't matter what you call him, he ain't coming anyway.
Yeah. I figured that one out right as you said it.
Mr. Sadie's comment.
What's a cow with no legs? Ground beef.
Yeah, and I watch all those too. I'll find them on TikTok, especially the ones telling the dad's jokes or trying to make each other laugh. Yeah, that's
yeah, I like those.
I'll think it's funny. Go tell Joni. She just looks at me like I'm some alien. I'm like, you have the world's worst sense of humor. I call it Joni humor, and you won't even laugh at this. What the hell?
Joni has a different sense of humor.
She's got to have a sense of humor to live with Scott as many years.
That's true. Good one, Tom. One for Tom.
I am my own entertainment. Thank you. Yeah, Marjorie, you're 100% correct. And open mind, source, and not be afraid to ship the big stuff. I'm telling you, folks, it's like anything else with this kind of stuff. If people have an apprehension for shipping big items, But once you ship the first one or the second one, you realize, you go, oh my God, why have I been passing this kind of stuff up? It's especially that Nintendo, when I bought that whatever that thing was, the ab roller, it was still in its freaking box. All you have to do was tape the damn thing closed. This is not. I didn't even take it out of the box to take pictures. You know, it was still new. I took pictures of the box of it and took the manual out and laid it up there, and it's still wrapped in plastic. I didn't take it out of the box. And then when I shipped it yesterday, it's just tape it closed, weigh and measure it. This is not that difficult.
I got a question, a serious question here now. I asked about the father-in-law's front bumper that he's got. He messaged me, said, I got 2 transmissions for 38 Ford vehicles. He's got 2. He says, why do you think you can sell them? I know before I even ask it, Scott's going to say in a box. But realistically, how would you ship something? Do you have to build a frame for it to sit in?
Or pallet, put it on a pallet, wrap it, and put it on a pallet
for sure.
Because you know, if it's for that old of a motor, it's going to be heavy.
Yeah, it's gonna have to go freight, so it's gonna have to be on a pallet.
Right,
Okay.
and you can get LTL quotes pretty easily, and they'll even, you don't even have to have like a pad or whatever. They can come and get it with a pallet jack or whatever.
For something like that, Tom, something that's hard to find, and would be a specialist group of people they are prepared to come get it. You know, the car guys are a little on the nut side, and so something that comes available, you know, they will make arrangements to come get it.
I'm not interested in getting into automobile parts because I know nothing about them. But it is my father-in-law, and he's trying to clean out of his garage. He's got 10 radios from like the 30s automobiles, GM and Ford.
There you go, Tom. Kent's got a message for you. What do we sell on?
It's the Boxer colony.
Damn, is that a home phone? I ain't seen one of those in years.
Yeah,
Like my parents. Sorry.
Got a hard line.
All right.
Yes, I have a house phone. I will always have a house phone because I do not walk around with my phone in my pocket like a 16-year-old. But I have these damn things scattered all over the house.
So the phone just beeped, so it was these guys. So what did the set of books sell for? They were $2 at a yard sale. What did they sell for?
Who?
Carl Hiassen.
Who?
He's being funny. How much do they sell for, Scott?
$39.95.
Stuff in the Amazon seller app. Manage orders.
$50.
$34.49.
Ooh, I was close.
You're at a yard sale and this kind of stuff. Never ignore the groups of books.
Mm-hmm.
These complete sets like this they got their own barcode for the complete set. This is not difficult.
Yeah, I was talking to books might be a good thing to have listed. Kids books, preteen books, because I was talking to a school teacher friend of mine, and she said she teaches math and science, but she says that these books, that schools are really pushing the reading thing because their ass is on the line because by the state people for kids not being able to read. So it might be a good thing to have a bunch of stuff listed for books for kids. And what was that?
That phone was so old it looked like you were calling it an airstrike.
Who said that? Brian, I don't know you, so
I can vouch for Brian. I've met Brian in person. Brian's a good guy.
Calling an airstrike. Calling in an airstrike. You better get it.
Hello. Hello.
and control the matrix.
I cannot wait till all of you people get to be 64 years old.
Sorry.
Wait, are you 64, Tom?
I'll be 66 next month, December the 3rd. The damn Medicare people will drive you crazy.
So the one thing I tell you, the one of the things I do with books too is if you look up books on eBay, especially if you're an eBay and Amazon seller both, if they're worth money on eBay, they're good money on Amazon is the rule. And this iPhone 15, this thing scans like crap on it. The Amazon app sucks. It absolutely sucks. I thought the 14 Pro Max scanned bad. The 15 Max said, "Hold my beer." It sucks. It scans the wrong item over and over, and it's the app because you can switch it to anything else, and it's beautiful. The Amazon app. Last night I'm listening to stuff with my XS Max because it's so frustrating.
Can't. That's not the Reaper hunting me down. Two hip chicks. You're 63. You're still young. I'm serious, guys and gals. They will drive you crazy with this stuff about wanting your Medicare B or C or D.
That's why I got rid of my home phone because 95% of the stuff was spam.
They call on the cell phone. No, once December passes, about halfway through January, it'll all stop. We'll get like one call a week. And usually that's from my mother or her mother. But
past the enrollment time or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a you have to deal with your mind thinking it's 25 and your body's saying I'm 75. That's enough, not enough. You got to deal with these damn people calling about Medicare.
So I work with a lot of people here that's 63 or 4 to 70, and they're all talking about, Social Security and Medicare. So I'm just sitting there just trying to learn some stuff because
you better have a damn bunch of money in the bank, or you better have a bunch of gold and silver stockpiled like Todrick, because by the time you're what, in your 50s, Harlan?
53.
53. Medicare Social Security won't be around the time you turn 65.
Sure.
Which I think you'll probably have to be 70 years old to start drawing it. But
yeah, well, for me, it's 67 before I can draw my full benefit.
Well, you still got 10 years.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's the weight loss or the medicines I was on or whatever, but I look 10 years older than I did 3 years ago. So I take my 88-year-old mom to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, and the nurse goes, "Oh, are you sisters or just best friends?" Dang it. And that's not the first time it's happened either.
That's the worst.
Well, you get these things on Facebook, and they're like stars when this is before and that, and this is the stars now. Actresses and actors and whatnot. There's 40 years between the first picture and the second picture. People get old. They start getting wrinkles. Now, mind you, some of these gals look a lot better in their 60s than they did when they were in their 20s. But
Larry, thank you for supporting the show for the super chat. That was, I think that was second to ground control.
Ground control to me. That was the best one.
Y'all are just asses. But I do it.
This is Bring Your Son to Work Day.
Is that just,
you're on this.
I told you it was live.
I know. Okay,
Dylan.
Good morning.
Dylan, I'm mad at you. Why didn't you tell me your dad was engaged last night?
He was engaged? That's fine. That's cool.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you're going to have a 26-year-old mama.
Woo, I hadn't met that one.
What did Dylan say? She's cool?
Yeah, she's cool.
Lord have mercy. You people are crazy.
And she's
All right.
actually a little older than I am, so no
So
26.
so Kent, yes, Dylan has met his new mom. He was there the first couple times.
Yeah, that's
so
the
there.
joke. She's like, yeah, Dylan was on our first 2 or 3 dates, wasn't he? Yeah.
Y'all hadn't met Dylan, but Dylan is one funny individual. He's quite a character in his own right.
He's got to have a
Where did-
sense of humor
where did
to
you get
hang
that
with
from?
you two. Okay, that was the boss that called a minute ago, and she's getting stopped and bought some groceries. So I've got to just get out here and help her bring them in when she gets here in about 2 minutes. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, man.
You too, Tom.
Todd, you going to do a show tomorrow, or did you side?
Well, Beard, you served me. I
I'll
think
go-
Beard's going to do one.
Or I'll go on his. It don't matter either one. It don't matter.
Okay, well, y'all take care of it amongst yourself, chat amongst yourself, and because I'm gonna be at my mama's, so I won't be able to be on there tomorrow.
We won't talk about you, Tom.
Oh, I know that. I'm gonna have my damn phone on and my earbud in so I can hear
freely
what's
talk
going
about
on.
him tomorrow.
So anyway, y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Todd, I'll see you on Friday. Bye, guys.
See you, Tom.
All right.
He's lucky I couldn't Apple Music air it out trying to bring up ground control to Major Tom.
That'll be his new entry music.
Oh Lord.
That was funny.
Yeah, so at the estate sale, they had the clock the first day of the media because they even think $2 or less they don't discount, and so their books are hardbacks are $1, paperbacks are 50 cents or something, and I got $19 worth of books. It's amazing, folks. Resell eBay or Amazon book sale, and easy to ship, cheap to ship. Media rate is very, very cheap, very cheap.
I will say that speaking of old landline phones, if you have a office multi-line phone, those are still pretty valuable on eBay.
Mhm.
If it has 20 lines or more or whatever.
And I have a bunch of them laying around here, and I buy them if they're the multi lines. But even the cordless phones, we talk about the one thing that is big is everybody when they talk about part down stuff, they talk about part down kitchen appliances and stuff. But parting out electronics does well too. You can take the full set of phones and sell the bases, sell the phones, or sell the whole group as a set. But the phones have, they'll be $12, $14, $15 for the base and one phone. Most of the phones have the ability to be added to another set, so people are buying them to replace a broken one, add to another phone. So don't discount the fact that people look at cordless phones at yard sales and they're in a pile. What do you want for this? It's $1 or $2. There's money to be a 5-phone set. You can easily get $50 or $60 for. I picked that one the other day. I don't know what I did with it.
There's a couple of those Panasonic cordless sets that are like 100.
What was that?
Sounded like ground control to Major Tom.
Yeah.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Oh my
I have to
god!
save that for when he comes back home.
Hey, say that for tomorrow.
Yeah, I got his. If the phone fails, I've got his button here.
But if you start looking at books, so this is the stack from that one house. If you start looking them up, there's a book about Indians and the books like that are real books. There's Proof of Heaven, a couple of religious books. They do very well. But it's amazing. Once you find one, you'll start finding, I don't even know what the hell that is. Eminent Hipsters. This little bitty book. What did I buy it for? So it was 50 cents. Let's see if this godforsaken phone will actually scan it. Probably not. Nope. Damn it. sad I have to go get the old phone. I was complaining about that last time. Like, I've got this expensive phone. So that book is for 50 cents. Used sells for $11. So you're not going to get rich, but if for everyone, you make $2 or $3 and you buy 15 or 20 books, then it adds up very quick. They're easy to list, even if you don't own eBay. It's just a picture of the front, and a picture of the back, and then I take a picture of these. But that one's I don't know if they even read this book. Same thing with this one. A lot of paperbacks, you can tell the spine will be.
Mm-hmm.
This book was never. A lot of these, and I'll generally on Amazon I'll sell them as black new. And then why is this one? Because remember, this guy's running for president. Vivek Ramaswamy, I think that's how you say it. So this book is Empire of the. For some books you just pick up, I knew this one was. I think I bought this one for me because I like Greg Gutfield. That's the only one that was not bought. But the books like this that tell a story of of raising something like that, they're very in demand. But you get a kind of a sense of when you scan enough books, which ones are going to do well. It's absolutely amazing. Amazon, so Vakeem says a lot of Amazon say start with books. It is actually the easiest. Books are actually a very safe category. The hardest thing about books is getting the condition right. When I first started, I printed out the conditions and stuck them on the wall or by the listing area. It really teaches you if you start with books. Textbooks are really and some different publishers are the only restrictions for the most part. And so you understand it gets you looking at condition and getting very good at it. It also gets you listing, gets you selling, and because it's amazing. And remember, Amazon, the largest category on Amazon is books, and that's where they started. It's no matter everybody. All tablets are going to be the death of books. So many people, and I'm one of those people. Want the book in their hand. It's just reading on the screen puts me to sleep.
I do both, really.
Bibles for sure. You got to check the Bibles. So I've got one over here.
Large and giant print do very well.
It's in the pile to be listed. I think it's on eBay. It's a $35 Bible. Doesn't have a barcode, but it's. Yeah, this was the one. I'm sure it's in demand. It's got tons of pictures in it. Something from it's probably from the '60s.
Yeah, Tamara, they have books have a large fee on those. They didn't used to be, but they bumped them way up.
So several years ago, Amazon decided that they were going to under the guise of saying we're going to share the buy box, more frequently share the buy box with third-party sellers, and in order to do that and give a few other things, we need to change the fee structure on books. No, what they should have just said is we're just going to double and triple the fees and still continue to screw you on the buy box because that's what they're doing. I can see nothing changed. Maybe for about 10 minutes, and then it went right back to normal. But books, so books also teaches you to compete, which is a good category that you compete in. You learn to compete with Amazon, 100% with Amazon on books, because it's amazing. This is a free lesson. Strategies for selling books. If you've got a brand new book and you want to sell it, and Amazon's on the listing. Sell it as like new, 90% of Amazon's price, and you will move a ton of books. You don't have to compete with them and battle with them on price. Just set your price about 10% lower than Amazon. So if it's a $20 book, put yours like new at 18, and you will sell a lot of books. I promise you. Like new is a strategy for selling books. It's 100% is.
So if you find the Bibles in their original box, look and make sure that, because they didn't seal them. The newer ones they might, but back in the day they did not seal the box, so it
Even
could be
newer.
brand new on the
So
inside of it.
people want to touch those Bibles, Kevin, so they don't sell them. Even today, they don't sell them.
So a couple years ago, I ran in. I went to a yard sale, and they must have had a Christian bookstore in the past because they had 200 brand new King James Bibles, leather bound, in their boxes and everything. So I bought. They were $5 a piece. I bought them all for $1,000, and ended up selling them for $60 to $70 a piece. I made about $12,000, or I sold them all for about $12,000 on eBay.
Wow.
So
So
the
I
new
bought
ones-
one, and it's all sealed up. And the problem is I can't figure out, there's no barcode. So I can't figure out what version or what, I
It's not
can't, I
on the
don't have
spine.
the information on it. And I hate to unseal it, but
So you don't have a reseller machine like?
no, I gave it to Joey when I closed the business.
Dang, Joey.
Damn it, Joe. Well,
I'll
he
have to
don't
bring it
watch
with me
it.
to Dallas at Christmas time. Tom has a few autographed Bibles.
Is there in cuneiform?
No, he's still got the ones that are written in Aramaic or something.
It's hard carrying those heavy tablets around.
Yeah, I wonder who.
Sorry.
I wonder in his will who he's giving away the tablets of the Ten Commandments.
Well, I've had a really good time this morning, but I need to go to Publix before. I know it's already going to be crazy. There's 3 things I need left for tomorrow, so I'm
Yeah,
going
we
to
have
go.
to figure out what we're doing because Steve and Marcia having COVID means we staying at home.
Chinese is usually open.
Waffle
Get your
House.
big duck.
Yeah, actually, Paul and we were driving from California back to here. We were moving back, and we had our Thanksgiving at Waffle House somewhere in, I don't know where, Texas or Louisiana.
We're having ours at Cracker Barrel.
We went to Cracker Barrel one year for Thanksgiving, and they had like the turkey plate or whatever, and my son Joey ordered pancakes, and the waitress was like, "Really?" I mean, he was 6 or something. I was like, "Really? You want pancakes?" "Yeah, I want pancakes."
Live, we'll just shut it all down. Y'all get 10 minutes less today. Either me or Todd, one of us will be live tomorrow. It doesn't matter who. So if you're not following Silver Hair Stacker, and you're looking for something to do in the morning, one of the 2 of us will be live.
What time in the morning?
You'll
Maybe
see his
both of us.
Thanksgiving hand.
Everybody,
What
hope you
time
have
in the
who knows? It's whatever.
Okay.
Probably about the same time. It's usually 8 o'clock Central. Yeah. And if we don't see you again, everyone have safe, happy holidays. Get some rest tomorrow if you're going out. I've kind of given up on Black Friday, although our thrift stores are getting into it. The Saving Way, Harlan, all their locations are all half price Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
Sounds like a good place to avoid.
Well, there'll be everybody will be everywhere else, so I don't think they'll be as tremendously
Well,
busy.
that's true. But I mean, Black Friday's been going on for 3 weeks already.
Yeah, and if you're a Walmart customer with Walmart Plus, you got a lot of stuff earlier or starting today.
Oh yeah, I've been having the countdown for a week now.
Yeah, I don't need anything. I got too much junk.
Well,
All right,
Scott,
everyone, have a
thanks for having me on, Sue and Harlan and Todd. Guys, great to see you. Well, your hand, Todd. And I appreciate you letting me come on, and hope I get to do it again
you're
soon.
welcome anytime, Kevin. You're absolutely.
Well, happy
Everybody,
Thanksgiving, everybody.
happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you tomorrow.
Roll Tide.